What does that mean for Tom Brady?
What does it mean for Kevin Wildes?
Yeah,
I think it means tears on the horizon.
No, stop it.
Listen,
I'm
a truth teller.
I know. I know that.
And one of the reasons I don't have a lot of friends, and Jenna Wolfe vacillates on whether she likes me or doesn't like me, is I have the inability.
It's a daily thing.
I have the inability to lie to people, and this ain't great if you want Brady back with the Patriots.
Okay, what do you want the report to say? Report. Kraft will interfere in negotiations?
Kraft will stick up for the guy who he stuck up for a couple years ago, who he considers his son.
How about any report that gives us a reason to believe Tom Brady's back? How about the San Francisco 49ers, John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan, sending out a tweet, a text,
that's good,
an IG live video? Hey, just
TikTok,
for the record,
they could be dancing.
TikTok, whatever it is. Just for the record, Jimmy Garoppolo is our quarterback next year, and all this is nonsense. I haven't seen even a smoke signal from them on that.
Yeah.
They've been eerily quiet. The Patriots have had 64 days to get a deal done with Tom Brady. And what, there's been one phone call? There's been one phone call between Belichick and Brady? The idea that it could be good news for Brady coming back, that Kraft, the only person in the organization that has veto power over Belichick, and the person whose money it actually is, and the person who's on the record saying, I want him back more than anything else, that guy's going to stay out of it, to me is further evidence that Tom Brady's going to play football next year for a different team.
Do you really believe that he has veto power over Belichick, though? I mean, because you've mentioned all these last couple of weeks that Belichick would say, hey, if you undermine me in this decision or go against what my wishes here, then I'm out.
Which is why I think he wouldn't use his veto power. I think he does have the power by definition.
Of course he has the power.
But I think he wouldn't. I think he won't use it. Which, what's good power if you're not going to use it? Won't use it because of what it would do to what he thinks could be the next decade with he and Belichick.
To me, it seems like, and I think they've been reported, that the CBA is probably the biggest issue with Tom Brady not getting this contract offer at this point. They're trying to figure out what's going to be the logistics in the CBA to make sure that we can fit a contract within the rules and work it within the CBA with the new collective bargaining agreement. So I think that's the biggest thing. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to our game's best quarterback that has ever played, Tom Brady, and the game's best coach that has ever coached, Bill Belichick, sitting in a room trying to put their egos aside. And I know this may be a hard thing to do, and say to each other, I can't win the NFL title. I can't win a ring without you, and you can't win a ring without me.
Well, I agree with half of that.
Well, really, but here's the thing. Can Bill Belichick win and beat Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, all these young quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson?
He can.
Well, with who? Andy Dalton?
Cam?
Bridgewater?
But those are big question marks. Those are still question marks. In Tom Brady, you have a guy that's won consistently throughout his career. He can get that team over the hump, and you're still going to have to put weapons around no matter who that person is going to be at your quarterback. Why not the best that has ever done it, especially in the place that he's done it for the last 19 seasons?
Can I ask you a totally unprofessional question?
No.
What does your gut tell you is going to happen? As a
honest
diehard
to God,
fan, you
my
really
gut-
think this is going to work out, especially after what you just
Yes.
heard now in Brady's favor with him coming back?
Yes, my gut is no news is good news. No news is good news. And I assume Brady will be back. And one of the reasons, Brian gave me hope. Brian, you said when you sat down with Andy Reid, you're just like, hey, let's hammer out the deal. Like, I believe that's going to happen.
did you want to be
enough is
back?
enough. Like, let's hammer out the deal.
I wanted to be back, and I think Tom wants to be back as well. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
that Bill Belichick wants Tom back, but the question is the price. And if you're going to have to pay a quarterback $23 million anyway, let's say you have to pay a guy like Andy Dalton $23 million or $20 million, wouldn't you rather have Tom Brady for 30, 28, or 30 million bucks?
Yeah.
I would be willing to spend that, especially if you're going to get 12 more million in the collective bargaining side of things.
Brian, what happened, though, the last time you tried to hammer it out with Andy Reid?
Well, it didn't go so well.
Where'd you end up?
Tell us the story.
Well, no. We didn't actually try to hammer it out at that time. At that time, he was saying, listen, you're not good enough to play here. We drafted someone else to replace you. But that's the big difference here in New England. They didn't draft someone else to replace Tom Brady.
Were you like, all right, sounds good?
We did this already once before. It worked out for me.
No,
Let's
I was
sit down
like,
again.
well, no. That's not how the phone call went for me. The phone call went, hey, Brian, we're not going to pick your contract back up, and you've been released. That's how the conversation went.
How long was the conversation?
it was 5 minutes, maybe. It was just me and Andy. We caught up for 3 of those minutes. In the last couple minutes, he was telling me that, hey, we're not renewing your contract because we have LaShawn McCoy, who's going to be a Hall of Fame type of running back in the future.
Yeah, we don't have LaShawn McCoy.
Well, that's the point. They don't have a backup. They don't have the next guy. That's why I always feel that there's going to be a way to get Tom Brady back in the Patriot uniform.
What's wrong, Nick?
No, I just think that I think people are bending over backwards to ignore all the writing on the wall on this. And
don't mention the house.
Maybe I'll end up being dead wrong, but we have plenty of what I would call circumstantial evidence that Brady and the Patriots are both ready for a breakup, and almost no evidence that they are ready for a reconciliation. And the CBA point is one that I have heard multiple times, so I think it's a valid point. My rebuttal would be the new CBA is now out there. Whether it's going to be ratified or not, we don't know. You've got really smart people whose entire job is to work out contracts for teams and entire job is to understand the CBA. It is not that difficult to read the 463-page document, understand what the new CBA would be, and present Tom, hey, CBA ratified, here's the contract offer. CBA not ratified, here's the contract offer. Would either of these be palatable to you so we at least know? It's not like the CBA at this point is a black box. We just don't know if it's going to come into play yet. So they could have dueling offers, like one with the current CBA, one with the new CBA. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about the fact that Tom Brady believes, what I think Wild still believes, what I think you still believe, that he's still a championship-level quarterback. And Bill Belichick does not. And so whether it is going from Brady to Dalton or Brady even to Mariota or Brady to Bridgewater, I think Belichick is dealing with the fact either way, if we are going to compete for a championship, it's going to be coaching and defense. So do I want to tether myself to a legend while on his severe decline at top of the market prices? I don't think he wants to do it, and Kraft isn't going to intervene.
Well, clearly it seems that's the case now, but then this isn't about money at all. What's the conversation that Belichick and Brady have if this really isn't about money? Brady proving that he can still do it, Belichick trying to show him that he can't by showing him the numbers. This is what you did this year. Take a look at it.
Well, I think it's about money in this regard. I think Belichick doesn't think he's a horrific quarterback, and at $10 million a year, it would be a bargain. Right. But Brady's market is going to be north of $25 million a year. I don't think Belichick values him at that. And the only person in the organization who bases it on emotion rather than logistics is a guy who's saying, I'm not getting involved. I think that's bad news.
At some point, Tom Brady will be able to go to San Francisco if he wants to, be able to go to Tennessee. And he may go to those places and say, you know what? There's actually no place like home. There's actually no place like New England. I think that the Patriots may be counting on that as well.
Except he no longer has a home because he sold it. It's on the market.
On the market. On the market. Not sold.
I'm
gonna put in a bid just to mess with Wilds. I wouldn't pass the bet.
What you get? Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.